Hey everybody, it's Eric, Brad, and Will from the Mature Minded Gamers. Today we're bringing you our Star Trek podcast covering the Lower Decks episode 8 episode 9 entitled Crisis Point.
Yo.
Yep.
So if we were on a holodeck simulation, gentlemen, theoretically, would I be your Captain Freeman? Would you be trying to murder me?
Trying? I think we'd have succeeded.
Yeah, I think we'd have succeeded.
That was some blood rage from Mariner. I liked it. All right, let's break this one down, guys. We're going to do a quick description. So this one starts out with Mariner is on a planet, and she thinks she's doing a great job in saving the day. Her mother, Captain Freeman, beams down and tells her that she did not do the correct thing. And you can tell it really hurts Mariner's feelings a lot because she thought she'd finally done something right. And apparently she didn't. So she gets in a little dispute with her mother, and her mother sends her to therapy. And so we meet the bird therapist. I forget his name, but I liked his character, and I also liked how he referenced food because, well, Mariner commented on that.
So I haven't verified this yet, but the voice very much sounded like Dr. Phlox. Did anybody else notice that?
The voice is from... Oh, I read his name. It's not Dr. Phlox. It's the one that she does a podcast with. The lady who does the voice for Mariner. I cannot think of his name. Anyways.
Yeah, well, I thought it was Dr. Phlox this whole time, so...
So anyways, she goes to therapy, and she hates it. But then Boimler, is that better?
Yeah.
Has an interview with Captain Freeman about where he wants to go with his career. And he has made a simulation of the holodeck with all the bridge crew on it, and he is going to use it to try to figure out how to best approach this interview. But it's quickly derailed. We see Mariner quickly inputting some code and turning it into a Star Trek movie. And boy, did they hit almost everything I would want to see in that in the 3 minutes they have to do this episode. So we get the whole movie scene going on. We get them coming down, and obviously a bunch of references to all the movies. We see them doing a special preview of the Cerrito. I thought they did a fantastic job with that too, and they were zooming around it. It looked just like was it Nemesis that did that?
The motion picture?
Was the motion picture?
That's what I felt like it was.
Well, it was like Next Generation episode 1. It was the motion picture. It was the not Search for Spock, the one after Search for Spock.
Anyways, we've seen this a ton, and I thought they did a great job in making the Cerrito look fantastic, just like all the movies do with whatever ship they're highlighting. So she goes full Wrath of Khan and turns the bridge crew, well, I'm sorry, not the bridge crew, turns the lower deck crew into her evil villain crew, except for our boy Bradward, who doesn't want to partake. But we get Tendi and we get Rutherford in full effect, and she introduces them and references Tendi's Orion is a pirate, this is natural to you kind of thing. And I thought they did a fantastic job with that part of it. And so we get a whole bunch of different scenes with Mariner working out her frustrations, killing off the crew. She finally gets down to her mother, and she's going to take her out. But then who saves the day? No one other than Mariner. Her holodeck representation comes in and shows her heart and her love for her mother and her ship. And we have a very touching, a very awesome moment where I think she comes to realize that she doesn't actually hate the ship or Star Trek, or sorry, she doesn't hate the ship or Starfleet. It's more about the demons inside of her. And at the end, she even says, I guess therapy does work. All right, guys. So lots to cover in this episode. I just did the quick summary. Get us started, Will. What'd you think of this episode? You can put everything in one spot. You don't have to do it in order.
So I hate holodeck episodes, but this did not feel like a holodeck episode. I thoroughly enjoyed the whole damn thing. It was great from start to finish. I like the beginning where you had the part where they were starting the quote unquote movie. I thought that was really cool as far as the credits coming through and and how not only was it like in the background, but it started to hit Bradward in the head and stuff, and he had to duck underneath it, and he had to get lower and lower and lower as it continued to go on. I find myself, I started this episode, I was like, great, it's another holodeck piece of trash, and it was good. I liked it quite a bit.
Brad, break it down. What'd you think?
I am talking completely on mute here. So I was going to say that I am obviously the one in the group that likes this series the least. And this was so far my favorite episode. This is like, this is the best episode of the entire season. So we got a little bit of everything in this episode. Like Will said, the whole holodeck starting out where the credits are coming through and hitting Boimler in the head. I thought that was amazing and hilarious. And just moving through and seeing the ship the way they did, and even some of the things they said was a lot like some classic Trek. But even rewinding a little bit further past that, the whole intro to the whole episode with her, like, thinking that she's skirting the Prime Directive and trying to save a group of people and stuff like that felt very, I don't know, like something that would definitely happen in Trek, and then for her to be wrong, and I don't know, all that I really liked. I'm trying to think specifically kind of the guts in the middle, because like the whole them getting everything off their chest and being able to say things to people that they wouldn't have normally said, mostly centered around Mariner and saying things to not just her mom, but herself in this episode, I thought was pretty funny. I did like, Boimler trying to get in and get all the information and stuff. I don't know. An endearing part of that character. Maybe it gets the name. I don't know. And then, honestly, like, I know this is maybe kind of cheesy, but my favorite part was at the very end where they signed all their names and stuff, just like they did in one of the original series movies and stuff. Just as a whole, this whole episode movie sort of thing was a really great concept.
So I really liked Rutherford's relationship with his supervisor there, the engineer. And I kind of thought maybe they have a little more going on than just a working relationship. What do you guys think? Is Tendi in trouble?
I don't think so.
I don't know. It felt like they might be going that way a little bit, but I liked it. I liked how they were so excited about working on a ship together. They were going to run away and do whatever they wanted. Like, I forget what all they said, but look at the warp core and realign the blank and blank or whatever. I thought that was kind of a fun little scene.
Blank. I was going to say, you gathered that as a romantic relationship over Tendi?
No, I think Tendi likes Rutherford, but I think Rutherford kind of likes the supervisor a little bit.
No, I think it's more of a best friend, having somebody that gets you when it comes to the things you're passionate about. It's like finding somebody who is really passionate about Star Trek. How you just want to hang out with that person and do stuff with them as much as you can. Like playing games or talking Star Trek or, sitting around table playing board games with people. I don't think it has anything to do with, who you're romantically involved with. And it's more just about having a friend that you just connect with on all your passions.
Definitely you might have it, but I think there might be a little more. I'd be interested to see where they go with that. We've seen Rutherford woo some women and never make a move. I mean, he did seem nervous around Tendi, that he did like her there for a couple episodes, but I don't know. Well, I think that may play out differently than most people think. The other thing I really liked was Shimpo, the character that Mariner put in place of Boimler. I'm not sure if you guys are my age. I don't know if you guys ever watched the Three Stooges, but they brought in a fourth stooge called Shemp. I might be saying it slightly wrong.
Shemp. And
I thought this was kind of like a little reference to him. Other than Boimler, but I think that's why they named him that. What'd you guys think? Yeah, kind of like a joke, and I think they named him that kind of like the fourth stooge was kind of a joke. Wasn't very good.
I never thought about that, but he was the fourth person that they.
That might be completely off, but I figured that's why they named him that. But I don't know. But I also like how Mariner was quickly to eliminate him. So, any Easter eggs that I missed that you guys want to cover or talk about?
Well, Boimler said earlier in the episode, is like, if this were a real story, they would have sent the Enterprise.
Right.
Or
we get the whole saucer coming off, which we've seen in, I don't know, at least one movie and several episodes, crashing down Voyager. And
no, that was that whole sequence there was Search for Spock, when they blew up the Enterprise and it went down onto the Genesis planet.
Right. Well, I mean,
what I was kind of. Go, sorry.
Even at the end, when Vindictor or Mariner's evil version is in the Genesis pod or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
When the Cerritos was coming down on the planet, I don't know why, but I was really hoping, it would start to roll and then it would start to do like a coin does when it hits, starts to stop. I don't know why. I just kind of thought that would have been hilarious if that's what it did after it stopped.
I mean, it kind of did. It rolled around.
Well, but it like kind of wedged itself in the mountain. I'm talking about like it does that little circle thing. It gets faster and faster and faster.
Oh, I get you.
I thought that would have been kind of funny.
Boimler getting at the end that the captain is her mom. I think that's going to set the stage for the next one. And the spoilers for the next episode, like getting an exocomp, I thought that was kind of funny. That I'm looking forward to.
So I guess I didn't understand. I thought that was kind of already common knowledge. I didn't understand, I guess, that people didn't know that.
Didn't know what? Oh yeah, they've been hiding it this whole time.
I didn't know. I didn't know either, Will. I mean, I was in the same boat. I was like, well, I didn't know if they just didn't really talk about it or if nobody knew. But now we know for sure that nobody knew. So I was in the same boat with you on that one. So, I mean, he blew his interview. Do you think that's going to come back to haunt him later on in future episodes? Future seasons, I guess?
Of what? I'm sorry?
Brad's interview with the captain. Bradward's interview with the captain. I mean, he blew it. She even said that. Did not come prepared, even though that's what the whole episode was about. Him preparing for that interview, And he freaked out because he knew that Mariner was her daughter. Called her hot, and then he called her ugly or something like that. I can't remember how he did it, but in true Boimler fashion, he screwed the pooch.
He sure boimed it up.
Yes. So we got to see. I wanted to say Einstein, but it wasn't Einstein. It was Leonardo da Vinci on the holodeck.
Yeah, from Voyager.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was good. I liked at the end when he finished the Vindictor off, just because I really didn't see that coming. All right, so I think we all enjoyed this episode quite a bit. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about for this one?
Yeah, so we didn't really cover Tendi at all. She kind of had not as much of a role in this episode.
They've been playing them in and out quite a bit. There's been several episodes where her and Rutherford haven't really been a factor. But they covered her a few times. I mean, she was a good sidekick for Mariner. She lasted the longest, I think. And then at the end, she references finally that, not all Orions are pirates. I'm not one, basically. Which I thought was good.
Orions were.
They're usually references like...
that not all Orions take slaves.
Right.
I just felt like her role in this episode wasn't as prevalent, and there wasn't as much character development as the other three. I mean, because you think you got Mariner coming to terms with how she sees herself and, maybe wish she could do different, and being able to talk about her feelings and whatever, and actually realize that therapy doesn't have to be sitting down with a shrink. It could be other methods too. Yeah, Boimler really screwing the pooch as far as like with his interview, the whole point of what he's trying to do. Like you said, it could come into play later. And then Rutherford, we've kind of got him finding somebody that he can relate to and engage with, but then at the end of the episode, he makes no move towards making an engagement, even though you could tell that the engineer seemed pretty lonely, But it just seemed like Tendi, we didn't really get anything out of her except for the fact that, her feelings were hurt, and not all Orions are pirates.
That's true. She did get focused on the least.
Which is fine. Like you say, some episodes
were the center of the next episode, though.
Yeah, with the exocom, which I thought was pretty cool. I always liked that that episode from The Next Generation. Exocomp, excuse me.
All right, guys, what would you rate this one?
An 8.
Yeah, I'd
One.
go an 8 as well.
I gave other episodes a 9. I feel like this one's a true 9. Like my highest 9. 9 point.
Well, the way you put that, now I just can't trust any of your previous
That's true.
ratings.
I like this show more than you guys, though. So, I felt like I had to compensate for your low scores.
Oh, is that what it was? You were trying to bring it back up?
All right.
I see.
All right, guys. Next week is the final episode. We will be covering it, and hopefully we like it as much as we like the last few. I think they have been knocking it out of the park this last half of the season, and I expect nothing less from the final season.
And for all you Star Trek fans that are watching this now, that was a baseball reference?
Yeah. I mean, we've all watched Voyager, buddy. We know what baseball is.
I think you mean DS9.
I was just about to say we've all seen.
Hey,
DS9.
here's another one. Swing and a miss.
Tom and what's his face were huge baseball fans, weren't they? Are
No.
you sure? I'm pretty sure they
Tom
had
and Harry were not baseball.
I'm pretty sure Harry had a whole holodeck episode, right, Will? About that?
Man,
that
I did
was
not watch
DS9.
Voyager.
Oh.
There was a episode in DS9 where they were trying to field
Several
a team.
episodes in DS9.
I need to watch that DS9 thing again, I guess.
Such a good series.
Hey, guess what though? After episode 10 of Lower Decks, we get Discovery season 3, and I am so excited. Anyways, we're getting off topic. So thanks for checking out our podcast. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends and family, and have yourself a great night.